Or stand by. I got Matthew McConaughey going in the background here.
Operation Status Quo. Operation Status Quo. Prepare to engage. Operation Status Quo. Ready to engage. Operation Status Quo. Engaged. Engaged. Oh, and here I am with you again, the lovely people of the world. Hello, I am Pete Palma, your user-friendly host right here on Operation Status Quo. And you know what we do here on Operation Status Quo? Of course, we observe the status quo. We learn to flow with the quo. And of course, at times we create our own flow because the flow that the status quo has created, sometimes we just have to say no, yo. You know what I'm saying? So I have a guest here with us today on the line, and you might hear some of that noise in the background. So if you're wondering why you got extra sounds, that's why it is. And let me bring him up here right now. It is our good friend, Realtor and mentor, Michael Daniels. It sounds like we're going to a boxing match. Michael Daniels.
There you go. I love it.
So now, just to give the first of all, first and foremost, I always like the audience to know that this is a place of love, togetherness, oneness. It's a place where we can openly talk about all kinds of ideas and thoughts and processes. We don't attach to things. We don't get all hung up on who's right, who's wrong, who's good, who's bad. It's all about just acknowledging what's going on in the world and, taking a look at things, taking a step back and finding out what works best for each of us based on the circumstances and such of what's going on in the world today. And I had the privilege of meeting Mike here in my community. And for those, I don't mention it often here on the show, but I do. I am a licensed realtor in the state of Florida, and I had my license, but wasn't doing anything with it, and had the opportunity to meet Michael here, and we started having a conversation. He put me in touch with a great company that's been really good to me overall as far as getting in the business and training and all that kind of stuff. So Michael's been doing it for a long time, not just real estate, mortgages, all kinds of stuff. He's a mentor, a business coach, whatever you want to say. So, Mike, just introduce yourself to the people and tell them a little bit about who you are.
Yeah, thank you, Pete. I have quite an introduction you did there for me. I appreciate that.
No
I'm Michael Daniels. I am a real estate agent, realtor, mortgage loan originator, trainer, coach at Line Right Realty, and also with Encompass Mortgages. And my license is with Suncoast Line Right Realty, which is located in North Tampa. Our broker owner is Lisa Takis, absolutely amazing person. And the owner, CEO of Line Right Realty, Johnny Lowy, I've known him for almost 20 years. And his wife, Amber, the COO of the company. And so the way I ended up with Line Right Realty after being with another real estate company for almost 12 years, Johnny Lowy was doing a presentation, and he'd never thought that I would come over to his place, and we had an interview. I liked what he had to offer, which was the world-class training. He is a Wall Street Journal top 50 real estate agent, and our second pillar at the Line Right Realty is, of course, our branding. We're going to put Line Right Realty on everything, because when everything aligns right, it aligns right.
And that's what I liked about this company so much, honestly, because, we've had this conversation before, and I'm not personally such a salesy person, as it were, and I that's just my own thing that I relate that to the real estate environment as such, because you have to be aggressive in certain ways to get out there and make a living, and you're trying to make a living, you're living off of what you sell, what happens. So but just the background of the company itself and how Johnny came to be in his position, and listen, I haven't been in real estate long at all. I mean, my license would be it'll be 2 years coming up in the winter. So I just people who have been doing this for years and years and years. I'm sure I don't have to tell you that there's a lot of cutthroat sometimes in the environment, and I just like what Align Right has done to try to give back. I feel as far as just the level of training and support if you need it. I haven't been around to see a lot of other examples, but I can't imagine that many would match up to what they're doing.
Yeah, and you kind of finished the list off. Besides our training and our branding, we want to supply every one of our agents with cutting edge technology, the best technology that they can get. Give them and teach them how to get free leads from the systems that we have that they're given to use, as well as the culture that we're in. We want our culture to be like a family.
Right. No, I definitely get that
And
impression. Just all the events they have, even this week, I believe and unfortunately, I won't be able to make it because of my work schedule, but they're doing a potluck lunch. They do a lot of things like that where at the office.
it was delicious yesterday.
Was it? Oh, yours was yesterday. I think the one at my office over here is tomorrow. Actually, is tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
So, now I'm not. I'm always one for the free food. So it's tough for me to.
Ditto.
All right, so let's okay, we get the background and everybody knows real estate and such. So, but maybe we'll touch on a couple things. Like I was speaking with you a little bit earlier, just to kind of go over. I definitely want to speak about, because this show is about empowering people and making them realize and pursuing their dreams. And real estate may not be your dream, but whatever your dream may be, it can be pursued and accomplished. And quite honestly, from Mike, from the conversations you and I have had before, and even the stuff that Johnny himself teaches as well. There's a lot of really great information in there as far as encouraging or I guess encouraging is the word I want to use, or it's empowering. That's the word I want. Oh, no, I hit the bell by accident. That's the word I wanted to hit. I got a bell here, Mike, by the way. I got a whistle. I have a little harmonica. Hold on. Because you never know what the show is going to bring. So you have to have a little bit of everything, and a bell too, I always say I don't have bells and whistles, but I don't do bells and whistles, but I do bells and whistles. Okay. All right. Anyway.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So
Awesome.
empowerment is the word I wanted to use, because that's like the way our world is going today, and everything that's happening and changing. People are starting to think differently. Before, a lot of people might just be happy. Oh, what are you going to do? This is the world. You get your job. You're stuck in a cubicle for 30 years. And, maybe people don't have the belief in themselves to go out and do something on their own. And now the way things are changing, just the way consciousness is growing, and you see what the outside world is giving back. It's almost like, I don't want to say what the outside world is giving back. I mean it in the sense of, the powers that be and the environment they create for us to succeed, or really to not succeed. So now people are starting to find truth within themselves and starting to realize, like, what is it that makes my life, special, or what is it about me that, how can I contribute? What skills, how can I create? So for anybody out there, based on your coaching, mentoring, that sort of line, what kind of advice would you give to somebody who's coming up and they want to start a business? They're maybe not confident in it, don't even know where to begin. What steps do you take somebody from ground zero?
I would say from ground zero to whatever it is that you want to be or do. Find out what it is that you want to be or do, and develop yourself into being the best version of yourself. And if that includes spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially, make all that happen. If we're working on a scale of 1 to 10, be a 10 in all those categories. Whatever it is that you think you can or you can't do, that's what you want to do.
Right. I mean, I guess too, in the sense of trying to not tell people, but have people be aware of like the items you just mentioned, your spiritual health, your emotional health, your physical health, financial health, whatever all those things may be. I guess you can almost take each one of those items and see where you stand with those. Which ones do you have to work on more or less, right, to accomplish what your goals may be?
Absolutely, and all of those are individually measured, so you can pick out whichever one that you feel like that you need to develop more than the others. However, all of them need to be nurtured, no matter what level they're at. So um, we've talked about that, and just about any profession that you want to be in, you can do anything that you want to do.
Right, absolutely. So now, before you were in real estate, did you never worked a? Because I don't know if I've ever even asked you this. Did you ever work a normal 9 to 5 type thing?
Not really. I was a tennis coach, tennis player, and loved every minute of that. I didn't start till what a lot of people considered later. I was 15. I was a baseball player. Then I decided that I wanted to play tennis, and so I wanted to get myself in the best shape possible. And my dad was a Golden Gloves boxer, so I wanted to get into boxing and I wanted to get into tennis, and I did. I used my boxing to sharpen my skills athletically, mentally, physically, emotionally,
So you're saying
and
basically
spiritually.
with your boxing skills, John McEnroe never would have given you a hard time on the court. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. He swings the racket pretty hard.
No, I think it's awesome that you play tennis to that capacity because I enjoy tennis recreationally. I never played for any schools or teams or anything like that, but I definitely enjoy playing. And I know you're an avid swimmer as well.
Love swimming. Today is 1,550 days in a row that I've swam at least 1 mile or more in honor and memory of family and friends who fought cancer and those that are fighting cancer and our United States Navy SEAL Foundation Gold Star family.
Oh, hold on, I'm gonna give you a round of applause. You can't hear the applause where you are, but I'm giving nice round of applause. 15. Would you say 1,550 miles?
1,550 miles.
Wow.
Yes.
Heyo.
And so this May will be my 10th year to do the Swim Across America, which is for Hopkins Children's Hospital and Moffitt Cancer Center. We do donations, and well, we swim for cancer that day. We have a half-mile swim, we have a mile swim, and we have a 2-mile swim. That is an open water swim in Tampa Bay, and you can enter individually, or you can enter on a team.
That's what I find, like what I enjoy about talking with you and meeting you and everything is, for, being in a business with my concept of real estate, and like most of what you talk about is always the other things that you're doing, like the swimming the miles for cancer. And you're always involved in all these different groups and even that duck club or whatever you told me about. I'm just saying, it's like, it just seems, and I understand that you're, obviously you build a network with groups and community organizations that resonate with you, that you feel that you want to be a part of. And, that's another step in what we were talking about as far as like someone who's brand new and wants to build a business. I mean, first, I guess we would say from our conversation, you have to decide what you want to do, and, focus. Then, you also have to have a network and a community to be able to provide your service to, and something like real estate. I mean, not for anything. I don't want to use make it negative and say dime a dozen, but how many, there's a lot of real estate people out there. You could be getting calls from. So I always say this, like when it comes to businesses and such, it's like ordering a pizza. Well, maybe not pizza because pizza, depends on how they cook it. But let's just say tires is always my example. You can buy tires anywhere. It's all the same tires, right? But you go to this particular store because you have a relationship with the person who owns it. You know that when you show up that you're going to be treated well. You're getting a fair deal. They're going to do honest work. So it's really about integrity, right? I mean, really, I'm thinking of this as we're talking too. I mean, we're talking about here how to encourage people and empower people to go after their dreams and do what they want to do. And it's all about really the integrity from where it comes from. And I guess all that kind of grows from there. I mean, like everything you're doing between, all these other functions and, you living true to just who you are. It's almost like the real estate and the mortgages and all. I mean, that's just an extension, just a piece. And, for people, when I look at it in a positive way, of course, my brain always comes from a space of, I don't, I don't believe in our financial system. I think people are, shouldn't even have to worry about the idea of how they're going to afford a place to live, just in a I guess utopic type mindset. It just doesn't even make sense for
Right.
humanity to create an environment where someone even has to worry about that. But it's nice to have someone of, say, your caliber who has a good heart and is not looking to, take advantage of people who may not be so knowledgeable or who may be in a position where, they're not even sure whether they can or can't. I know when I bought my first house, when I was married, way back when, but those people, we wound up in a good spot. But when we first started looking, and the one person, they would have sold us. I'm glad that one deal didn't go through when I look back on it, because we were almost ready to get this one, and we never would have been able to afford it at that time, and what we were doing for work and everything. So it's just interesting, and that was, of course, the time when everything was bubbling up, because then that was 2000. That was 2000 when we bought that house. So then everything obviously crashed in 2008. So, but anyway, just so it's nice to know that there's people out there, and that's why I stick with it myself personally. Like, I know you do it for a living more so than I do, so you're always advertising yourself and making your calls and doing your thing. For me, I'm a little more surreptitious about it, for the lack of a better word. I want it to just be, when the time is right, I build a little something, or however it goes, I'll be happy to reach out to people, but I'd like to just have it, my license, that is, and, be available. Someone gets to know me over time, maybe through this show, or, other networks I build, and they go, oh, like even the yoga, I teach the yoga.
Right.
So, in that community over time. You do real estate.
Do that.
Yeah. We're going to get you in there for a class, maybe this weekend, if you're around. I'm not going to put you on the hook while you're on the show, but, I am teaching this, Saturday at 11 a.m. So you can keep that in the back of your mind.
Saturday, 11 a.m. Okay. Yeah. Sounds great.
So, what was the other thing let's talk just quickly, about the real estate market right now. Should people who are interested in possibly buying or selling, it's volatile times. We're not sure how things are going to go. Interest rates, I think they're talking about another 0.25%, right, being announced next week. It's kind of like what I was hearing.
Well, actually, I think you may see the rates go down a little bit.
Okay. All right.
And so it could go down a little bit. In the Tampa Bay area here, we have a very healthy and sustainable market. What does that mean? That means we have a gradual increase of an average of about 4 to 5% every year on your home. There's a couple of sayings that are out there. The best time to have bought real estate was 20 years ago. The next best time is right now. And then what goes along with the interest rates is date the rate, marry the home. So go ahead and get that home and refinance it after a couple of years. You're going to build up some equity in there, and so you refinance it for a lower interest rate.
Right.
So that's where the saying, date the rate, marry the home.
Understood. Yeah. No, well, I mean, it makes sense. And, and then, of course, a lot of people out there, would say, well, they'd rather rent, right? Because they feel then they're not on the hook for whatever, the refrigerator breaks or any of that kind of stuff. Right. But, at the end of the day, listen, it is what it is. If you have a property, you have to maintain it and all that type of thing. There is cost involved. But at the same time, I don't know. Personally, I guess, I don't know if it's more of a preference thing, or, if maybe someone is not looking to build, I don't know. Like, I just look at commodities overall, whether it be real estate, the precious metals, all types of things like that, things that you actually can hold and own, more so than, like, for example, let's just say you have $200,000 sitting in an account that you want to, put towards, buying a new house, right? So you could take that, but you don't want to take that money because you don't want to take it out, right? Then, 2 weeks from now or a month from now, everything could crash and then boom, right? Like all the $200,000 is gone. But if you had taken the $200,000 and invested it in the property, even if you paid $500,000 for the property and it drops down to $300,000 because the market goes crazy or changes or whatever. The point is, it really doesn't matter what that quote unquote dollar value they're putting on it is. That is property that you own. right? You know, I mean, that's how I look at it. That's
Correct.
how
Yeah.
I would say it towards people who, you know, talking to myself in a way because I'm renting now mostly because I moved, you know, and I'm still trying to find my way to get settled down here in Florida. So, but I definitely intend, you know, as soon as I can, really, you know, I want to buy something. So, can you speak to that a little bit? What you would tell people about difference between renting and
Yeah,
buying?
absolutely. And this statement that I'm going to make, please don't take it as a financial advisor, that I'm not a financial advisor. However, you could use that $200,000 twice. And what do I mean by that? So you buy a house, you put $200,000 down or into, or buy the house outright for $200,000. You get a home equity line of credit, and then you buy your precious metals with that and let both of them grow, because the $200,000 is definitely not growing inside the equity in your home. It does keep down your payment. So another thought is take the amount that you would be paying on a mortgage and put it into those precious metals that you're talking about,
Right.
or whatever else that you believe in that would help your financial situation.
No, I mean I agree with that too. Taking the money, you buy the house, take the line. Not for anything, you could take the equity from that and purchase another property, right? That you can turn
There
into
you
a
go.
rental
Absolutely.
or flip it or whatever. It's
Keep,
just it's
keep
interesting
doing
to
it.
me because of just the way I was raised, and just the way we were programmed. And it's funny because we have been programmed really to not have our own money, right? I'm saying like we're programmed. Like, I thought I was doing
True.
so great, all those years when I was working with for the government there with I was putting 17% of my pay, pre-tax, into their 401k, program plus what they match. So I was putting all this away, and then all of a sudden I realized, especially when COVID happened, then I started thinking about things differently and started trying to inquire about, and I knew off the top that, if you touch that money before a certain age, there's penalties and all that type of thing. I never really even thought about just, that's just retirement. I build that up. If I can get a good million in there by the time I'm 65, I'm good to go. And, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And then you start to realize that there's no guarantees. Like you're giving your money away, basically. They took 17% of my pay that they put into accounts that they used to farm out other money and take on more debt from other people. And then if I want my money back, I can't even get it, or I have to, lose a chunk of it, or, it's really, I don't
True.
think people
True.
realize how manipulative and deceitful the system is. They convince you that you're saving and working towards your future, but you build your future today. And that's what we're talking about. That's why you and I are having this conversation.
Absolutely true. Yeah. Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah. So, I definitely think there's better things to do with our money than to just let it sit in the hands of those that don't even want to give it to us to begin with. I mean, you work and then you pay taxes off the top, and you're an extra thing on this, an extra thing on that, and this penalty, that penalty, whatever you got to pay to maintain your account, some fee. You know what they do. It's just all kind of crazy stuff. But well, anyway, I appreciate your time today and everything that we're talking about. Is there any? Well, first of all, two things. Before we go, I got to get you to do how you do on your Facebook when you go, "Good morning. I just swam to do. Call me. Buy a house. Sell a house." I want you to do that whole spiel, but we'll save that.
Oh my God! Anybody who watches this is gonna go, "God,
They've seen it.
please, smile, do something."
You know what it looks like?
I've seen that.
It's funny when I see that when you post that on Facebook because sometimes you're in the pool, and it reminds me of the scene in Goodfellas when Maury jumps in the pool because his wig doesn't come off. It's like, the wig doesn't come off. And there's you standing. Of course, you and I have the same barber, obviously.
We do. Yeah. Gillette Fusion, excuse me.
Yeah, Gillette Fusion. And then, Mike had said to me before we started the interview, he goes, "Oh, I feel like I'm being interviewed by Joe Rogan." I'm like, "Well, I feel like I'm being interviewed by Joe Rogan, too. It's a couple of Joe Rogans." Hold on. Where's my horn? I got a horn. I got my horn. And I got this guy. See, we have fun here. Hello.
After this show, I'm definitely going to carry my bells and whistles.
I'll tell you, that might be a great way to prospective clients. When you call them up, have all these sound effects programmed in with your phone, and you could just start, when you call people, you just say, you just play the applause, you do some ringing of bells, you blow the whistle. The person says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not really interested right now. Then you blow that whistle right in their ear a few times, and you're like, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you correctly.
Listen to the sound of the tambourine man.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess let's with those two things. But let's finish it off with before that. Before your little spiel, unless you don't want to do your spiel, I'm not going to put you on the spot.
Oh, I'll
But
do my spiel.
yeah, yeah, I like your spiel. It's fun. But just one more, encouragement or what to the young people out there. You're a man who's come from. I know you come from a military family and you've traveled around the world pretty good too. So right, isn't that what you told me too? Your dad.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So and you've been
14
around.
places in 10 years growing up, and I say I'm from Mobile. That's where I graduated high school. My mom still lives there. Um, I graduated high school there, and I played tennis for Southern University of Southern Mississippi, and moved to Atlanta, Saudi Arabia, and then Tampa.
Wow,
And I've lived in Tampa longer than I have anywhere. And
that's great.
it's a great place. It really is.
It is beautiful
It's
here.
so easy to be involved. I mean, really, I didn't have to do anything special with my life to get involved with the community because I was already doing the Ducks Unlimited, like you said, the Brandon Runners Association, the Swim Across America event, the United States Navy SEAL Foundation Frogman Swim. All those things were easy for me in the sense of getting involved in.
Yeah.
And really, if you think about the things that you do every single day, the people that you talk to, really, that's your community. That's your community, and it doesn't matter if somebody else is in there. There's plenty for everyone.
No, I agree, and different strokes for different folks in a way too. I just mean like somebody might resonate with you better than me, or vice versa, as far as working with someone personality wise. It's everything in this life is about connections. Everybody's trying to make money. You know what I'm saying? And that's like but it's not about making the money. To me, that's secondary. You build the connections first. You live true to your heart. You follow, the voice inside. And well, I got some voices in my head, but I try to listen to just the one in my heart, as much as possible. And, when you live that way, like to me, like money is like, it's like people who always say they want to, go on a diet or something to lose weight. And it's just like, forget about losing weight, change the lifestyle. Change your lifestyle, and the weight, is just an effect of living a healthy lifestyle. You don't have to try to lose weight. You just have to live healthy. So it's the same thing with a business, and how we're, saying here today, encouraging people, if you're out there, if you're looking to start your own business, maybe it's not real estate, maybe it's a barber shop, or a tire shop, like whatever it is, it's just like, just live it, like live it and do it. Like even me with the show, this show is not monetized. Would I like to have it monetized at some point? I mean, I would love to make money off of doing something that I love as much as this, and I put my time into it and everything, but I don't
Come on, sponsors, step up to Pete.
Yeah, right. Maybe a line right will sponsor me.
Positive Pete, here we are.
So, but I just look at it as I do it because I love it, and like whether I'd ever make money at it or not really is irrelevant. It's more that I really love it. It comes naturally to me, and I feel a sense of accomplishment to deliver something to people. And although I'm my way and quirky in certain things, at the end of the day, it's all about trying to give positive messages and let people know that they can accomplish anything they want. Just like you. I mean, you've lived. It's amazing all the stuff you've done, and you all this time, and you've built your own. You've always done your own, is what I'm saying. You've always done what you felt and lived on your own.
There's
terms.
There's a lot of help in helping me.
No, I know that no one does it on their own. That's for sure. No one does. I would never say that. But what I just mean is like, I never liked working in an office, and like doing this show, for example, that's stuff I would have been doing years and years and years. It's 14 years I sat in that cube basically, and put it aside and just said, well, what are you going to do? This is you got to make a living. You're stuck, and I didn't believe in myself enough, or have enough, gumption, or whatever you want to say, to keep striving forward. It's tough, especially, starting a business and all, if you have no income coming in and you're just out there trying to get started, it's scary, so, I would just tell people, I'm sure you would too, to let that, not let the fear drive you, see the vision of your success on the other side and live that each day. And that's what'll show up in your day-to-day life.
Yeah, mindset definitely is everything, and you can either have faith or you can have fear. You're not going to have both.
Yeah, you're only one F, only one F. No faith or
Only
fear.
one of the F's. Yeah.
That's it. All right. Well, listen, this is great. I really appreciate your time. You anything else you want to say about your business or people contact?
Yeah,
I put your
sure.
website in the description box, but for how the people to contact you and anything you can help them with, go ahead.
Oh, thank you so much, Pete. It's
Yeah.
been a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me on the show. And so today is Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. I'm on the Pete Show today and swimming in honor and memory of all of our family and friends who are fighting cancer and those that have fought cancer, and our United States Navy SEAL Foundation Gold Star families. Today is dedicated in honor and memory of all of those. Happy Tuesday. Happy week. Michael Daniels on the Pete Show. See you tomorrow. Love you, brother.
I love it.
Take care.
All right. Mike, thanks so much. You have a great one.
Absolutely. Appreciate it, Pete.
All right. Take care. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
And there he goes. Let me go back to my camera over here. Mike, I'm going to call you on the cell and as soon as I get out of here real quick and just say thanks one more time. So I'll give you a quick
Roger
buzz.
that.
All right.
My pleasure.
All right.
Anytime. And thank you.
Thank you. Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye-bye. All right. One more round of applause for Mike. Let me do that over here. Let me shut this over there. Did I close this? Yes, I'm going to leave that call. All right, here we go. All right, so thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here today on Operation Status Quo. Operation Status Quo, where we observe the status quo, we learn to flow with the quo, we create our own quo, and that's what today was all about, learning to create your own quo. Check out Michael Daniels. He's really a great guy. He has a vast skill set as well as network, so even if he can't help you himself, he definitely can point you in a direction of somebody who can for whatever your needs may be. And just be confident in yourself, believe in yourself, whatever it is you want to do in your life, you can make it happen. Just be it, live it, and all that type of stuff. All right. So please take the time to like, subscribe, share, send this out to your family, your friends, those you love, and of course, those you despise as well. God bless each and every one of you. I love you individually as well as a group. This is Pete Palma, Operation Status Quo. I'll be back with you again tomorrow. For now, Operation Status Quo, disengaged.